Yes. So today we will be seeing the verification of mesh analysis. Now this is the given circuit diagram. Now first what we will do is we will do the theoretical calculations. So as we have already studied how to write the mesh equations using KVL, we will start writing the equations first. So since it is a mesh analysis, we will assume the directions of the current in the clockwise and name them as I1, I2, I3, which are the three unknown currents, as you can see. So if you write the equations by applying KVL to the loop 1, first equation I will get will be 5 is equal to the sum of the resistance in that particular loop. So it is 390 plus 100. So that comes to be 490 I1. Then which is the common branch resistance? 300 and 100. So that will be a minus whatever is the current flowing, I3 into 390. So 390 into I3. Then R4 is again a common branch resistor where I2 is also flowing. So it will be minus 100 into I2. So this is my first equation. Now, second equation will be 0 is equal to sum of the resistance in that particular loop. So 100 plus 100 plus 100. So that becomes 300 I3. And then the remainings will be the negatives. There are negative drops. So which is the common branch resistance? Again 100 and this 100. So with this 100, I1 is flowing. So it will be minus 100 into I1. And again, you have I3 current which is flowing through this 100 ohms. So it will be minus 100 into I3. So this will be your second equation. What will be the third equation? No battery source. So it will be 0 is equal to, again, sum of the resistances in this loop, 390 plus 470 plus 100. So that becomes how much? 960 I3. Or this will be 300 I2, right? 960 I3. Now, this 300 ohm, 390 ohm and this 100 ohm, it is a common branch resistance, right? So minus 390 into I1 and minus 100 into R2. So this becomes, I2. So this becomes your third equation. So now you have three unknowns and three equations. So you can solve it simultaneously and you can get the value of I1 as 0.0189 amperes, I2 as 9.22 milliamperes, and I3 as 8.676 milliamperes. So these are the three currents. Now what we will do is we will find out the current flowing through 390 ohm. Now current flowing through 390 ohm will be how much? So here you have 390 ohm, your I1 as well as I3. Now see, this is your I1, this is your I3. So if you subtract I1 minus I3, you will get the value as 0.0102 amperes. Convert this milliamperes into amperes. And voltage across 390 ohm will be equal to what? 390 multiplied by current, which is flowing, that is 0.0102. So you will get over here as 3.987 volts. So remember these values. So what we will be doing is now, you will be doing in the software SQL. This is a general purpose circuit simulator package developed at IIT Mumbai, and it provides a GUI for schematic entry and plotting. So using the SQL simulator, we will be solving the mesh analysis. So I'll be showing you how will you use it. Now, in the observation table, what we'll be doing is, we'll be calculating, you have already calculated the theoretical values. So what are the theoretical values of the current which is flowing through 390 ohms? That is 0.0102. 0.0102 amperes. Practical, we will see using the software tool, which is SQL. And what is the voltage? We have found out that is 3.987. Now we'll come back to this slide after doing the SQL, right? We'll simulate that in the SQL file and we will be obtaining the current as well as the voltage through 390 ohms. Now let's go to the SQL app. Okay, so we'll keep this. Now, if after downloading the SQL app, you will get over here. I'll put it in the link in the description box how to download the SQL simulator. So after you download, you will get all these files and you open this SQL GUI.exe. So as you open this, a SQL circuit simulator will get open, and here you will be drawing the diagram. See here, circuit editor is there. So what you will be doing is you will be drawing the circuit diagram. I will show you how to draw the circuit diagram. So here you can see in the sources, you will be finding out the DC source, right? So here you have this here voltage source. So what you do is click once over here, and then now so we'll take this as your VSRDC3. This we will be taking, okay? And double click here. So here you will get the voltage source. Then what we'll be doing is we'll be placing the resistances. So when you have to place the resistor, see over here in the linear, under linear, you will find R dot ECE. So click once here, and when you come to the circuit editor, double click on this circuit editor graph, where you will be, how many resistance you will require, you just place it, right? Now you want the ground as well. So when you press the ground, you can see ground dot EC. Click it here, and when you come in the circuit editor, double click it, right? Now you arrange it as per the circuit diagram given. So now I'll just arrange it, okay? You just have some little patience till I complete the file over here, right? So it is just a rearranging. This is the ground. See, connections are very important. Any software you can use. Okay, this has to be rotated, right? In your circuit diagram. So these are the resistance. Now what you'll be doing is you'll be connecting all these with the help of this wiring diagram. Now just see here, up, how do you click it? See this line is there, no? There you have to click it once. And then you click till this point. So this will come one connection wiring. So similarly, you will be connecting all the points. Okay. Similarly, so you need to check that there is no overlapping or any point is missed, right? So when you come at this point, now you just click it, and then you come to this point, right? Now this resistance is connected to voltage source. And then we will change the values of it. So just let me have these two connections. Okay. Now I will show you one more thing. Now see this point. Now wiring. See, these are all grounded, right? So connect it properly. Okay. Now last two wires which are remaining. One more thing. Now this resistance is going to the ground. Okay. So now see here, when you click this, no, you can see that this is grounded. Even this, if this part is not grounded, no, you will not get the correct answers, right? Okay. Now what we will do is, we will put the values of the resistance. See over here, there are parameters. See here, R is there. So what you do is, you just change that values to 470. And here, caption, what you do is, you can write there R1, right? So now this R1 is 470 ohm. Here you can write add default property box. So this becomes the 470 ohm, right? So even you can write R2 as well. That also you can do. This is your 3 90 ohms. So place 390. This, if you want to change, you can change the caption. So you can write over here R2. Okay, that is up to you, sir, your choice. Now add default property text box so that this 390 ohms will come over here. Right? So you can just shift it. Similarly, these will be all 100 ohms each. So go there and just change the values. Similarly, I will just change the values to 100. Similarly, here as also it is 100. Now what I will do is I will just click here and I will put add default property text box so that I'll come to know which resistance it is. Right? So this is add default property box. And this is what? This we have not changed. So we can change this to 5 volts. Right? So that also you can change caption. And here you can write the add default property box. So this becomes 5. Right? And you can see the circuit diagram also. Right? So this is the 5. Right? So 5 volts, 390. So all the resistances are placed. This is grounded. So just recheck it once again that see this connection is proper or not. Because if this connection is not proper, you won't get the correct answers. That's it. Just see that there are no double lines. Right? And see the connection once you just put it. Right? Okay. Now what you're going to do is, what is your aim? Your aim is to now calculate the current flowing through this 390. So for that, what you're going to do is, you have to go over here, output variables. Can you see over here, output variables? You add the variable, go to that particular element, click it, and you can see your output variable V1, I1, power, and all. So you need voltage and current. So what I will do is, I will add voltage V1, and also I will add one more variable because I want current also. So I have added the current. Okay, you can change this var1 as I1 as per your specifications. So I have written V1 and I1 of this R2. Got it? Now, after doing that, what you have to do is you have to go to the solver block and you have to get the output block over here. This output block, you have to bring it over here. So add solver block and this output block, you have to bring it over here. Right? So as you bring the outer block over here, what you can do is, see here, go to the property editor, go to the output variables. Only this is some you should understand. V1 and I1 you need, right? And just do OK. Now what you do is you go to the circuit file, you generate the CF. So this is your V1 and I1 you can see over here. And then what you do is you just do the run solver and you will get the output. Okay. So here SQL is running. And you can see over here, there is an output dat file. Now, as you see the output dat file, here you can see show table. So here you have to take out the values. V1 is 4.023 and I1 is 1.031. So you can note down these are your practical values, or you can say the software simulated values which you have obtained. So you can write it down in your observation table. So it is 4.02 and 1.031. That is, it is nothing but 0.0103 milliampere. So when you come over here, you can, what you can do is you can write the observation table and you can write over here the values which you have got, right? And you can see that they are matching. So practical value, what, how much you have got, if you remember, it is current was 0.01031 and this was 4.0231. So you can say that they are approximately equal. So this verifies the mesh analysis. So this is using the simulator file, right? This is the circuit editor. Got it? So thank you.